Hello, everybody, and welcome to Relatively Gaming. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and today I'm joined by my co-host, aka TJ, Turn-Based TJ. TJ, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Artemis is doing well. I'm not sure if that's being picked up, but he's always around, so it's going all right. If you guys are new to the channel, well, first off, welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, all that stuff, so you don't miss out on an episode. But what we do over here on the channel is we talk about games we're currently playing, upcoming games that we're excited for, some news in the industry, and then we kind of do a little bit of a teaching segment, if you want to call it that, kind of share our hobbies with each other and educate each other, and maybe even you on that. So we're going to jump into our first topic. It's all about cattails. We're going to be talking about the games that we've been playing and what we've been jumping into. So, TJ, what have you been playing recently?
Oh man, I can't wait to talk your ear off about Far Cry 6. I've been playing a lot of Far Cry 6, like way too much Far Cry 6. I'm probably at the same point in Far Cry 6 that I was in Far Cry 5 when I abandoned it.
Oh, okay.
But instead of abandoning it, I feel more motivated to play.
Nice.
I feel like they added so many quality of life things. Like you can call a car in now.
Okay.
Anywhere you are, which is really nice because I feel like in Far Cry 5, I find myself a lot of times like on the side of the road with no vehicle,
Yep.
and I'm just like trying to either hijack a car or I'm just like hoofing it, and that really doesn't feel good. And then they added this arsenal system that I'm obsessed with. Like the weapons and gear in Far Cry 6 has got me hooked. The arsenal system is basically you can equip up to 4 guns, and then you equip also your like clothing and stuff. And there's no perk system like there is in Far Cry 5. I know there's perks in Far Cry 5, but in Far Cry 6 instead all the perks are basically tied to your gear.
Oh.
So you have like gloves that give you extra ammo or shoes that make you go faster, things like that. Hats that make you impervious to like soft round bullets and stuff like that. So with the arsenal system, you can do all that, but you can also hot swap in between them up to 4.
Okay.
So I have like a kit of stealth stuff where I have 2 bow and arrows and like a silenced pistol and a sniper rifle and stuff, and I can hot swap to that anytime I feel like going in stealthily, which is really cool.
Okay.
And then I also have my main one. I have one where it's like, oh, I need to take out vehicles, so I have a bunch of stuff with like blast damage and stuff. And I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, you're good.
The weapons. I have so much to talk about. The weapons as well. They have different. You can modify them now, and they have different weapon types. So you can equip like poison rounds, or fire rounds, or EMP rounds, blast rounds, rounds that are good at like taking out armored targets and stuff. So I've just been having a blast, like modifying all my guns and stuff. Every time I find resources to like modify my guns, I like get excited. Because my favorite thing now is the poison rounds. It stuns them for like 5 to 10 seconds, so you can go up and machete kill them. But it also makes them turn against their allies, so they'll just start shooting. So I have a silenced pistol that I made with poison rounds. So from far away, I'll shoot somebody, and they just start attacking the whole base and causing chaos. It's like super fun.
Nice. Yeah, that definitely sounds like an overhaul. I mean, it's been a while since I've jumped into Far Cry. I did get 6 as a gift and intended to play it, and then whoopsie. But playing through 3, 4, 5, like, yeah, just even this weapon system you're talking about, it seems night and day difference. I mean, you had obviously a wide variety of stuff available to you in the previous titles, but not this level of customization, if I'm recalling.
Yeah, I just fired up Far Cry 5 this morning so I could do a comparison run. And the weapons, you can't really, there's no arsenal system, so you have to like swap a weapon out in the real world, and you just drop that weapon and it's just gone.
Yeah.
And you just have to find it again or buy it again or re-equip yourself at a station or whatever. Whereas this one, it's like, it feels like you have 30 guns at your disposal at any time, and you can just switch in between them whenever you want.
And I wonder if that's because of the setting, because like this one, you're like revolting against the government in place, correct?
Yeah, it's like highly modeled after Cuba, I would say, or just South American countries in general.
Okay.
So you're revolting against like a fascist dictatorship.
Okay.
which brings me to Giancarlo Esposito, who absolutely, I mean, he deserves to be on the box art like he is because he absolutely crushes every scene that he's in. He might be my favorite Far Cry villain, although, of course,
Wow.
Voss. I know Voss is pretty incredible. So I think he's tied with Voss because I don't think anybody's ever going to top Voss. But he's really good. He plays a despot really good. Like, did you ever see Breaking Bad
No.
with him in it?
No, that's one of the ones I've missed out on.
Oh man, yeah, him as a villain, it's so cold and calculated, and he brings that to this role very well. It's pretty incredible. So there's just a lot that I love about Far Cry 6. Oh, I didn't even mention the Supremos, which are backpacks that you can put on, and it's basically an ultimate ability. So you have one that just like fires rockets up everywhere and will blow up helicopters and tanks. You have one that's like an EMP blast that like disables all vehicles and knocks everybody over, or one that just shoots poison everywhere. They're pretty incredible, and you can hot swap those too in between your different loadouts.
Interesting.
So yeah, it's oh man, there's just so much to love about Far Cry 6. I don't know how it went under my radar this long, but I'm obsessed with the gear and the equipment system.
Nice. Yeah, going back to that with like the freedom, like I said, I think it's got to be setting because obviously 3, you're just dropped into it, like it's you and your buddies on vacation, so like you're not even prepared for what's about to happen to you and your friends. 4, you're going to spread your mom's ashes, so you would hope nothing's gonna happen here. And then 5, I mean you're a cop. I think you're a cop. And then obviously shit goes sideways. So I guess that makes sense, and that's cool that they made that adjustment, if that's the connection. I would assume it is. Do you feel like, in comparison to the other games, like, everybody talks about it with Ubisoft games, like, it's checkpoint heaven, like, there's so many things to do. Do you feel it's more of that?
It definitely has that aspect in it, but I have been enjoying the variety of the missions, with the exception of one type. I've been really appreciating. They also added different enemy types in the game.
Okay.
So instead of just like regular enemies when you're attacking a base, you have like someone who's a medic, or someone who sets up a turret, or somebody who can call in plane reinforcements and stuff. So it really makes you kind of prioritize when you're like trying to do self takedowns. You're like, let me take out this plane guy first so he doesn't call in air support on me because I don't have the weapons to deal with a plane right now. Or yeah, I don't know. It's really cool. I mean, they still have the alarm system and stuff, but still a lot of checkpoints, still a lot of Ubisoft. I just haven't played a lot of Ubisoft games. Like I never really got into Assassin's Creed very well. So I'm not burnt out on that part of the formula yet, I feel like.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it definitely scratches an itch. Like, I mean, there's a wide variety of games that have this. I mean, the ones that come to mind, obviously, Red Dead Redemption and Ghost of Tsushima. Like, this is nothing new. It's nothing like Ubisoft is just brought to the table and then over-flooded. But most of their games, are that single character, big open map, go do a plethora of things. So,
yeah.
That's all. Well, nice. Anything else you want to talk about with Far Cry 6? Companions, the doggo, the crocodile, anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I like in Far Cry 5 more because you can get human companions. And I would say that those are more powerful. I had that sniper lady. That helps out a lot because then I don't have to have a sniper rifle all the time. I can just have her with me. And this one, you only get amigos, which are just animal friends. But the alligator, the crocodile, Guapo, is he's pretty great. He's incredible. He like heals himself and stuff, and he just you'll see an enemy about to take you out, and then all of a sudden they're like clawing at their ankles because there's an alligator on them. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's also cockfighting in the game, which is controversial.
Oh, okay. I mean,
you can fight as a chicken, and it turns into like Mortal Kombat. There's like different chickens you can unlock, and you have like different moves and stuff that you can do. There's no, back quarter circle forward or anything like that, but they put some thought into it, which was really bizarre when I tried it out. I was like, this feels out of place and weird. So I would knock down a point for that, but otherwise everything else in the game has been pretty incredible.
Oh, good.
Nice. Do you know if there was racing missions in Far Cry 5 and 4?
I feel like there might have been like checkpoint to checkpoint. I don't know about like you're racing against other people.
No, it's like racing through checkpoints, and then you get like extra time every time you go through a checkpoint, like one of those type
Possibly. For
situations.
some reason, I'm imagining it in Far Cry 3 on like beaches and stuff, but that might have just been like one specific thing. I don't remember, to be honest.
I don't know, but I've really been enjoying those where you race through the checkpoints and you have to try and beat your time, and they give you good rewards. Like I got a whole racing car when I beat like this. There was like a jet ski one, and there was like sea mines that you had to avoid. It
Oh,
was really fun. And when you beat that one, they gave you a whole ass car that you can summon at any time
hmm.
with machine guns on the top and a ram, and it's pretty awesome. You can customize the inside of the car too, like what's hanging from the mirror and what's on the dashboard and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. I'm gushing about Far Cry 6, but that's that's all I've been playing for sure.
Nice. And you feel the story holds up too, like in comparison to the other ones?
Yeah, yeah, it's a little predictable. He is an evil despot, dictatorship. But I really like the setting because I really got into. I've read like some books about like the CIA and stuff like that. Funding fascist military coups and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing that play out, you're like, this it's a pretty cool setting because it does evoke a lot of real world issues that you
Mm-hmm.
don't really see in a lot of entertainment media for sure.
Gotcha. All right. Well, very nice. Take over. Let's see. What have I been playing? Oh boy. Recently I've jumped back into Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 4. Um, Played it at launch. Played through most of it. I mean, obviously there were challenges here and there that are difficult from time to time because they're very specific. I'll do this trick over this gap or whatever. But as I talked about last episode, I've been trying to find something that kind of draws the focus. I've been playing a lot of the, as I like to call them, like the turn your brain off games. So Tony
Sure.
Hawk's been another one of those. To follow up on last episode in a quick tangent, I did beat Reader's Rewind, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game, all the way through and
Nice.
platinumed that, which seems like a hard plat, but once you beat the game once, you can activate cheats and like you can blast through that game in no time. So yeah, that was pretty simple. So yeah, I was trying to find the next thing of like, what can I just do to distract myself? So yeah, Tony Hawk's been good. I mean, I've enjoyed those games for a while now. I know in comparison, I haven't played like the big ones. Like I know people talk about Thug, like Tony Hawk Underground, that series, and how that was great. My favorite growing up was Tony Hawk American Wasteland on 360 PS3 era.
Okay.
And I just loved the story. It was ragtag group trying to help their buddy get out of jail, and in order to do so, they decide to build a skate park and like charge money and raise it and stuff. But the way they build it is they're just stealing stuff around the Los Angeles area, like landmarks and shit, and building this super park. So it's kind of cool to see the progress there over time of the park slowly building as this is going on. God, I hope they remaster that. That would be like one of the. I think I've talked about it on another podcast of like things I want remade, but will probably never happen. But who knows? Sorry, jumping around. So Pro Skater 3 and 4 has been good. I just unlocked. I didn't realize there was a whole professional goals. So I don't know. Have you played any of the Tony Hawk games?
I have not.
Okay.
No. The closest I've come to is on the N64. I played a scooter game, so
Hmm. Okay.
that's that's my experience with skateboard games and stuff. I don't really have a lot of experience with it, but I've seen my friends play them quite a bit,
Hmm.
so I know that they are pretty cool.
Gotcha. So the basic concept, at least with the early pro skaters, is very arcadey. Obviously, you're going to be doing some silly stuff from time to time, not the realistic stuff, which good. I know Skate bought an audience because of the. Well, now Skate can get pretty gnarly too, but it's 2-minute runs on a level, and there's various challenges you could do during your run that you're trying to accomplish. So 3 score-based ones, collecting the letters skate, and then it's a variety from there of like either collecting things, knocking them down, doing certain gaps with a certain trick, stuff like that. So Pro Skater 3 4 is just remastering those games, but I didn't realize that once you beat that first tier of stuff across all the levels, you unlock like pro challenges. So it's like 5 or 6 more additional challenges per level with three of them, I think three of them. No, maybe it's just one, excuse me. One like higher level score to try and achieve, and then four harder objectives from there. So just unlock those. I don't know if I'll achieve those. We'll see. There's one in particular for every level. It's called Combo. So it's like Skate, where you're just gathering the letters, but you have to gather all 5 letters in one continuous combo. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. That might be out of my that might be out of my wheelhouse. But we'll see. But there's a lot of content that those games offer. I really enjoyed Pro Skater 1 and 2's remaster, I think, a little bit more. But I think that's from a familiarity of the levels in comparison to 3 and 4, where I didn't play those as a kid. I think Iron Galaxy, the studio that did this one, they did a fantastic job. It was Activision. I don't know if it was Toys for Bob that did the first one, but that one was fantastic too. So that's been mainly taking my time, but yeah.
Excuse my ignorance, but is it always 2-minute chunks when you're doing these missions? It's like 2 minutes timed every time?
If you're doing just like the base gameplay, yes, there is like a free skate option, so you could just go around and, dick around in each of the levels. There's plenty of multiplayer stuff, so in multiplayer, you could do it against another player. Either the 2-minute run, you see who gets the higher score. I think it's score attack if you want to name it. There's also graffiti, so you could do certain tricks on ramps or benches or rails, and if you do a trick on it, it like spray paints a certain color, either blue or red, and then if you want to take over that, you have to hit a trick on it but do a higher score on it to take over. I think there's like tags so you can bump into each other. I might be making that one up. I know the other two for sure. So like in just terms of like the base single player, yes, it is those 2-minute runs.
Okay, that still sounds fun though. That sounds like a good time. I definitely want to check out definitely the 1 and 2 remastered. I know they have it on the Switch. I feel like that would be a great portable game to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, highly recommend.
Especially with those 2-minute bursts. That's like perfect.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's been anything else. I don't think so. There was a demo I wanted to play that came out on PlayStation that we'll talk about in a later topic, but I didn't get a chance to dive into. So I think, yeah, Pro Skater's pretty much been the main one that's on the table right now for me.
Nice.
All right, so we're going to move over to our next topic. We're talking about some game news. So, TJ, you said you had a few pieces you wanted to share with us.
Just one very unfortunate piece. League of Legends, everyone's favorite game to rage out to. It celebrated its 10-year anniversary.
Okay, cool.
And so Riot Studios, in honor of their 10-year anniversary, released a video with even a fan who did a cosplay was in this video too. So they really tried to honor the game. Except for in the video, they use an egregious amount of AI art in their own 10-year anniversary video.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Riot Studios has a lot of money between League of Legends and Valorant. They can afford to pay the artists, and yet they're using AI art for no reason, really. It's kind of despicable. So they've since pulled that video down. I have a mirror of it because, I don't know, I was obsessed with the story. But yeah, they pulled the video down in the backlash and everything. And I just think AI art is starting to plague the industry. And I think this was just a really bad move by Riot Studios for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game industry's been in a pickle for a while and is going to continue with this AI stuff and not any kind of controls in place. Yeah, I know Steam in particular has been dealing with this. Like, you have to be very clear about, what has AI and what doesn't, which you should. I mean, I get it as a tool, but yeah, it's going to come to a certain point where it's like, nope, this is too much. And then with the amount of layoffs that have happened this year and last year in the games industry, it's like, no, we don't need more of this. It's the same thing with any big company, big guy or gal at the top is making how much, and then low man on totem pole is the one getting cut while they got, their pockets lined and can go on all these trips and bonuses and all that lovely stuff. But that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah, let's I just think there's so many artists in general that could do a good job, you know, and it's like I feel like artists already have a hard enough time breaking into the industry, getting paid for work, getting paid for jobs, and this AI stuff is only going to make it more difficult.
Yeah.
Um, I said, especially when you couldn't even pay an artist for your 10-year anniversary
Mm-hmm.
video like that. That really rubbed me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll
What about you?
I'll touch quickly on a negative piece of news, and then I got a fun one, which I mean, hard to be fun when you're being negative. Be like, yeah, I'm excited, but I alluded to this last week, but I didn't know too much about it, and I still don't know much. So I encourage people to go out and do their own research. I just wanted to put it on people's radars. But Steam is going through a weird censorship kind of movement right now. I don't think it's Steam itself. I think it's more the like card companies, so MasterCard. Of course, now I'm blanking on other ones. Visa and others are like preventing purchases on Steam due to, I think it might have just been one very controversial game, but now it's flooding over into a lot of other titles. Um, so it's just causing a whole thing right now and a lot of backlash, obviously, because that's you're censoring a lot of stuff due to just one bad game, for example. But like I said, I only know very grassroots stuff here. But I know that a lot of people have been reaching out to the card companies and they're getting flack and backlash, but nothing's happening right now. So I encourage people just to keep an eye out on it, look into it yourself, expand. I don't want to be spreading, like info that I don't even know. That's not fair of me to do. So just want to put it out there for people. Like, that's not great. Hopefully we can get
I've actually looked into the story a little bit more too.
Oh, okay.
And there was I forget the name of it, so I don't want to spread misinformation, but it was an Australian group that and this one lady in particular that really pressured the payment processors to get these games removed. And you're right, she started with one game and then it kind of snowballed out of control.
Mm,
The games that are being censored are mostly like sexual games.
sure.
So it's like in a weird spot, but it still is going against like gamers' freedom, and it's also just really weird that the payment processors can decide what you can and cannot pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which they've already kind of done that with. There used to be with OnlyFans and stuff. They had an issue
Mm, okay.
where they weren't going to pay. They weren't going to process payments on there for a while until they came around.
Which
So it's just a weird spot.
I like. I get in a way, and once again, I know nothing, so everything I'm saying take with a very grain of salt. Like, I get wanting to, like, it's your business, you want to cater it to what you want to deliver, yada yada, whatever. But on the other side of things, like, it's money. You're making, I'm sure, a butt ton of money for people getting your cards, paying the interest rates. Yeah, like, what do you care what people are spending their money on? You're the middleman, but you're making money off of it being the middleman. I don't know. It baffles me. Like, but granted, I know nothing. So it's just a old man yelling at cloud situation. Who knows?
No, you're right on the money with that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like I said, just want to touch on it and put it out there for people. Now let's 180 and be excited about the games industry, because Gamescom is happening next week. So convention that goes on over in Europe. So there's potential for some fun game announcements there. I can't recall the history of Gamescom, if like anything huge has been announced over there in the past. So like I don't have anything great to compare it to. But there'll be showcases from different companies and just things shown off for the first time and news and updates. So we might see some fun and exciting game stuff and news come out this following week. So just looking forward to that. I mean, we're always chomping at the bit for what is the next big announcement or updates from Xbox and PlayStation and stuff like that. So we'll have to see and keep our eyes peeled for what is to come from that event.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that's exciting. I'm definitely excited to see. Are you going to do stream that event, do you think?
I don't know. I have to look more into the details of when that is. I mean, we have the power of the internet at our fingertips. So let's even just look. Gamescom 2025. La 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 la. Loading. Yeah. Cookies, all that crap. All right. So it's in 3 days. So we got companies like Nintendo, Lego, 2K, Team 17. It's like any other convention for those of you guys who don't know. So they're gonna have panels and like people walking on the show floor and whatnot. Featured games got Little Nightmares 3, Path of Exile 2, Indiana Jones apparently, probably for DLC. What else we got here? Tencent, lovely.
Everybody's favorite game company, Tencent.
Oh yeah. Tickets available. Exhibitors. Here we go. Shows. So it starts on Monday the 18th and runs till Sunday the 24th. You got Gamescom opening night live on Tuesday. I think that's the big one, the big showcase. The rest from there will just be like coverage throughout the event. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll live stream it, but if anybody is interested, it is once again on Tuesday the 19th. I'm not seeing a start time, so that's awesome. Yeah, this website's not very clear on things, so I don't know. Do some research, see what it is. Yep, I got nothing. Sorry, very helpful.
Well, from those lists of things, though, I'm actually excited for the Lego game showcase. I've been playing Lego Marvel Superheroes
Great game
on the Switch, so I'm excited for some more Lego games. See what they have in store. I don't know what their last game was, but
I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was TT Games, but they did have that Lego Horizon Adventure game.
Oh, that's right.
Last
Yeah.
year. And then I know at Summer Showcase they announced Lego Party, so like a Mario Party Legofied version. And from what I heard, if people played it at the event, seems like it's a fun time. I don't know release date on that, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, excellent transition to go from Gamescom to what I'm gonna teach TJ about. So I'm curious, TJ, what did you think my first thing I was gonna teach you about, or share, or educate you about was gonna be?
Wrestling.
I thought so too, so I decided to shake it up. We will be talking probably a lot of wrestling down the road. I've already hypothesized, okay, I'm gonna break into this section. I'm gonna break into this section. So if you're a wrestling fan, stay tuned. If not, I'm so sorry. But speaking of conventions, I thought I would share my experiences about something I think you would enjoy if you ever had the opportunity to go to, and that is PAX. Now, also, PAX West is going to be coming up at the end of the month. I'm specifically going to be talking about PAX East. Both are very similar in their experiences, so whether you go to West, East, I think there's an Australia one for our viewers. I highly recommend it. But if you don't know what PAX is, it is Penny Arcade Expo, and this is an opportunity for game companies to go have a booth, showcase their games, whether it's independent studios, which seem to be the bread and butter of PAX, but also some bigger studios do go there. I know they did show off or have a panel this past PAX East for Borderlands 4. There was one for Mafia, the Old Country. Killing Floor 3 was there. So there's a lot of game stuff that you can go do in terms of the video game side of things, but also it is huge for the board game community. There are board game vendors there. There are tables open for free play, so you can just pop down, open a game up that you have or want to sign out, play a game. If you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, you can do that as well. They have sessions you can sign up for where there are DMs that will set you up with like a campaign that they've already built, and you can go through that experience with your friends there. There are panels that talk about streaming, talk about games, do trivia. Shout out to Jacob McCourt, who does PAX trivia over there. He does a fantastic job. And a wide variety of panels there, cosplay, all the nines. Speaking of cosplay, there's cosplay, everywhere that you could check out. A lot of talented people there. I don't know if they do competitions, but you could check that out. If you just want to hang out and relax and maybe play some older titles, they do have a gaming lounge where they have a wide variety of consoles, from the Super Nintendo to the original Xbox to the Dreamcast to current consoles. And it's kind of like the library. You can go check out games, just go to the appropriate console and then just hang out and play a game, whether solo or with some friends. Speaking of gaming, there's tournaments throughout the week. There's bigger ones that they have at the PAX Rising area, the PAX Rising Arena, where usually they'll have, for the past couple of years, they've had Tekken 7 tournaments. I believe there's other fighting games that they have there. But then if you want smaller, more niche tournaments, they do have like Diddy Kong Racing, and they have NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, and somehow a Power Wash tournament or whatever. There's a wide variety of titles that you can just walk up, sign in literally day of, and participate in. There's no cash prizes or anything like that, but if you win, you get a nice little medal or trophy. And it's completely free, or you could just even go watch if you just want to see what chaos is involved with it and kind of, grow some relationships and friendships there. It's nice. And yeah, PAX is something special. And I've only gone the past 2 years. I went in 2024 for 2 days. I was going 1 day initially, and then shout out to 6-1. I scored an extra ticket. And then this year I went for all 4 days. And yeah, it's just like, it's one of those things I'm like, yep, I think this is going to be a staple now of like going to PAX, especially seeing the new indie titles that are involved there. But once you have that community too of like people you don't see all the time, and maybe this is the only time you see them, it's just a nice little kind of reunion feeling that's involved. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it to anybody. And it's kind of gotten that excitement in general about conventions again. Like there was one in Boston last week, and I had some free time. I was like, should I go to this? And I was like, no, don't be stupid. You didn't plan ahead. Don't just impulse drive 3 hours. But yeah, so I just want to kind of share that with you, because yeah, I know obviously we're talking about games here, but I know on the board game side of things, we've talked about it briefly here and there. So I'd love for you to experience that if you had the opportunity at some point, and sharing that experience with you.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I didn't know they had the board game side of things. Especially that sounds great with hopping into a pre-made campaign. It's always good because I hate doing the legwork of pen and paper RPGs, but I love playing them. So it's always good trying to find a DM that you don't have to pay for. Now, you said the whole event is free too?
So not the whole event, my apologies. So it is a ticketed event.
Okay.
So depending on when you want to go, so it's Thursday through Sunday. You can obviously do a 4-day like weekend thing, get all of it, or you could go for a single day. If you want to participate in any of the events there, so the gaming tournaments or the D&D campaigns, that kind of stuff, that side of things, that is all free.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know the full process for, like, for example, the Tekken 7 tournament, because obviously that is on the main stage. I believe that's just open to everybody. I don't think there's an entrance fee, but I don't know, like, how do you qualify for that? Is that something you sign up for? Like, I know panelists, influencers, content creators, like, they'll have badges that are provided to them, but it is an application process. So, like, for example, if you wanted to host a panel, you need to apply for it, hear back from them if you get approved, and then you go from there of getting your guests and whatnot. If you're a content creator, it's the same thing. Hey, I need to provide, these are my channels, these are my views, this is me covering the event, yada, yada, yada. There's that involved with it. But once you're at the event itself, no, the only thing you're going to be buying is obviously any merch for yourself, which there's plenty of stuff there that's very enticing. Obviously food from the food court, your hotel, if you're doing that, you know, the extra stuff. But outside of your ticket, no, I don't think you're going to be buying into anything. You can get into any of the lines for the game demos. Some will be longer than others. For example, Elden Ring Night Rain was there. Which,
oh dear.
Yeah, which a lot of people are excited for, as they should be, because they thought, oh, this is an opportunity, I'm going to be able to play the game. There was some controversy there. It was not being able to play the game. You stood in a line to then go in a bubble, which was like closed off like a tent, and then you watch the devs essentially play it. I think maybe one lucky person out of each group got to play with the devs. I don't even remember, but it was ridiculous. That line was packed
Oh,
the
wow.
entire time. But yeah, your independent studios, like Thursday was nice this year. Obviously, it's less crowded because it's a weekday. If you're media, which I'm not, if you're media, you get an extra hour in the morning on Thursday, so you have the floor exclusively to yourself, so you can go check out stuff. Media also can make appointments for interviews and sessions that they can schedule with the people there. But for the common folk, if you will, you just hop in a line. Thursday's usually nicer, like I said, because it's less traffic, so you can kind of test the waters. And as it goes, it's kind of like that word of mouth thing. Like people start talking and talking more about the games they've played, and you can see the lines grow, being like, "Oh, this one's really popular. Something's going on here." But yeah, it's just a great experience overall. Usually the demos are pretty short. It's nice to talk to the devs that are usually there and get their experience and talk about the projects with them.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just it's a really cool experience to kind of see that ground level, especially for the independent games.
I know you said there was one just in Boston, but do they have like a normal time of the year that they do something like every February or something like
So
that?
that's a good question. So PAX East, for example, which is in Boston, they do PAX East, which is in Boston. They do in Boston. Who would have thought? This past year, they did it in May, which personally I really enjoyed because it was warmer. There was one day it was like raining all hell cat and dogs, which sucked. But usually, typically, they do it in March, which they are going to do again this coming year in 26. So usually the March timeframe is when PAX East happens. If you're going to PAX West, which they hold in Seattle, that I believe is usually towards end of August, but I don't have as much experience with that one, so I don't know if like that's their set time frame. And then, like I said, there's one in PAX. There's Australia, PAX AUS, whatever. I don't know when they do theirs. And then they used to have one in the Texas area, which they might still have. So they have like 3 or 4 of them every year. So I assume they got to be pretty, cut and dry of when their times are and their time frames. But PAX East specifically, it's the March time frame.
Okay, great. I can plan for that then. Actually, that sounds like a really good time. Like I
Nice.
might have to actually try and get up. I've only been to Boston one time, so it'd be nice to go back and see the city as well as some PAX East stuff.
What? The city? Ew. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share
Sounds
that
great.
with you.
Yeah, thank you. I actually didn't. There was a lot in there that I didn't know.
Oh, cool.
And don't worry, you won't have to. I won't have to worry about trying to sign up for a Tekken 7 tournament anyway, because I would
Let's
immediately
try it
lose.
out. You
Yeah.
never know.
I mean, I might for the laws, but I definitely would not get very far. Tekken is a very hard game
Yeah.
for me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's going pretty much the whole weekend. You do have different events up there. Like I think it was Sunday. No, it might have been Saturday. Saturday, excuse me. They were promoting the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 with Power Stone 2 on there. So they had some creators who were very fluent in Power Stone 2, and then they were playing with normies, like just inviting people up on the stage. So shout out to Unruly and Cleo Thomas from Holes. That guy, he was up there.
Really?
Yeah. So they were playing with some fans for a while, and I followed Unruly for a while, so I just wanted to go see him. But that was a nice way to just chill out. Like they had chairs and stuff. You can sit there and watch. So I spent a few hours there, and then it all comes back to wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, Xavier Woods from WWE was there, and Kenny Omega from AEW was there, and they were just having a fun time. So the 4 of them playing Power Stone together, and then I think they were also playing some other games off that collection. So that, for example, there are going to be other titles that are there. I just know Tekken for the last couple of years has been like the main cup tournament that's been going on. One other thing I'll talk about in the tournament side of things, not to keep rambling,
Oh no, please do.
but when you get your ticket, you can also sign up. Anybody can, maybe not sign up is the right word, but opt in. You can opt in for something called PAX Omegathon. And Omegathon, what that is you randomly selected people will be able to participate in this weekend-long event where throughout that time you'll compete in like mini tournaments of randomly selected games, so nobody knows what's going to be going on, and you can progress. And the finale is on the main stage on Sunday. I don't know if there's like a big prize or whatever it is. It's just like something goofy that you can get involved in. But I remember not this year, but last year's final. Do you remember Windows, like that default pinball game that you could play?
Yes.
That was the finals. Was people competing in that. So PAX, I believe their YouTube channel does have the finale up there if you want to check that out on YouTube. I don't think they record the whole thing, but there's definitely a lot of information out there about Omegathon that you, like I said, anybody can opt into, and they'll let you know if you're selected. And it's something fun that you can kind of follow around that weekend. There's a lot of other stuff that I'm not even mentioning too. Like they usually have PAX exclusives. If you play like Marvel Snap, you can get exclusive cards there. You got the PAX merch. You got what do you call them? Scavenger hunts that you can participate in. Like there's a wide variety of extra stuff there. The enforcers, who are like the volunteers that help you along the way, are always fantastic. They make even waiting in line an enjoyable experience with the energy that they bring. It's just overall it's a great time.
That sounds awesome. I love Power Stone, by the way, so that's fantastic. Yeah, I've never had the pleasure of playing Power Stone with other human beings. I've just played alone on my Dreamcast in my room, but I would love to do a tournament with that because I feel like I'm pretty good, even though it's just against the CPUs, so we'd have to see. Yeah, I don't know. This just sounds like a great time in general. I really didn't know what it entailed. I thought it was just game demos, which sounds like that is a big part of it. But it sounds like there's a lot of other stuff going on too that I had no idea about.
Yeah, it's funny. Like if you talk to people, like just seeing the wide array of participants that are there. Like some people, yeah, you're there for the games. That's what you're there for. But then there's this other side of it is like, nope, that's not even what I do. I'm doing the games all day, or I'm doing cosplay all day, or like there's so many niches and audiences that are like thrown together in this one area. It's really cool that you have the freedom. Just like, what do you really enjoy? What's your niche? Okay, it's here for you. Like, it's really cool to have that flexibility instead of like, no offense, just in comparison, a Comic-Con. What are you here for? We're here for comics. Like, we're here for the heroes, whether it is the art side of things or the looking through for old issues. You know, generally it's all the same thing, while PAX is this just hodgepodge of mixing pot of everything, or melting pot, whatever it is.
The giant homunculus of gaming things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's head into our final piece of this episode today. Let's talk about games that we are looking forward to in the future. So, TJ, what do you have that you're looking forward to down the road?
Well, the first one I brought is this game called Absalom. Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
It is a roguelike beat 'em up. And definitely pull it up on your computer if you can, because the artwork is absolutely beautiful.
Cool.
But I played the demo of it, and there is a dwarf character and like a buff lady warrior character, and the demo was pretty extensive actually. It was like the entire first area. If you ever played a roguelike, it's like the first level and the boss. I couldn't beat the boss, so it was basically the whole game to me, because I kept going through trying to beat the boss and getting different abilities and stuff. But I've never seen a beat 'em up, especially of this quality, be a roguelike. Now I know there's Streets of Rogue or something like that. But this just felt like such a high quality bar. It's like some of those old Capcom beat 'em ups that were like fantasy themed and stuff. And it seemed like there was a lot of moves that your character could do. And obviously being in a roguelike, you can upgrade your character as you progress through some of the levels and stuff. I don't know. I had a really fun time with it. I'm really looking forward to this full release. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time with this game.
Nice. Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I'm watching on the Steam page right now. The demo you're talking about must have been the Next Fest demo. I'm not sure if this was last Next Fest or I think the next one's October. So probably last one would make sense. But yeah, it looks art style is really cool. I mean, granted, I'm not seeing too much at the beginning, but fluid animations, and you got some cool looking backgrounds, and yeah, very I don't know how to describe it. It kind of almost looks like a fantasy picture book with all these colors
Yes.
and stuff like that. Looks very cool.
Yeah, and it also implemented some of the Hades elements of things, where there's actually like a story behind you dying and being reincarnated every time you try again.
Perfect.
So they kind of tried to, ape that idea, which is never a bad thing in my opinion.
Cool.
So I got that, and also I'm excited for a little game. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Borderlands 4.
Oh, Borderlands talk. Yeah.
More Borderlands. They released more information. They released the third Vault Hunter gameplay details.
Okay.
His name is Amon, and he's this giant Viking character. It looks like he has three different. I think they're doing the Borderlands 3 tree thing, where the three trees are like three different abilities in totality.
Okay.
So it looks like he has one of them's a shield, which harkens back to Athena. Reminds me of playing the pre-sequel, which is always a good thing in my opinion. The other one is he has two axes, a frost axe and a fire axe, and you actually throw the axes at enemies instead of like meleeing them with them, and they like freeze the enemies entirely or light them on fire. You can combine the axes together to throw them and make like a spinning whirly axe thing that like explodes and stuff.
Okay.
And then he also has some whips. So the whips will also shoot out energy bolts and things like that. I've seen like an electric whip and a fire whip. I don't know if that's everything that he has, but he looks really cool and really fun. I think I finally found the character that I'll be playing in Borderlands 4 once I get around to playing it.
All right, that sounds cool. And when does that come out? Is that September or is that August?
September 12th.
Nice.
So less than a month away.
Oof, dang, coming up.
It'll be here before you know it.
Yeah.
What about you? You excited for any games?
So yeah, I kind of alluded to one earlier. There's a demo out on PlayStation 5 right now, but I haven't had a chance to dive into it, so maybe I'll talk about it more, or at least the hands-on experience, next time. But I'll give it a shout out right now, and that is Hell Is Us. So this was announced. Oh boy. It's always weird, like trying to remember when things were announced, but I think it was Game Awards this year. But Hell Is Us is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Rogue Factory and published by Nacon. Set to release on PS5 and Windows and Xbox Series X on September 4th. So the presentation of this with the trailer, it kind of is dark. Well, no, I think a lot of us were thinking it was Death Stranding because it's a guy in a hood, in a rain. And I was like, oh, this looks different. But once the trailer got rolling, and I'm pulling it up right now, so I apologize as if I'm like stutter speaking. No, mute that. You guys don't need to hear it. But it's a guy with a sword in the rain, but it looks like current apocalyptic almost like setting, if that makes sense. And from what I've heard from impressions, shout out to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast, and Kyle and Light and Joe over there, but Kyle got a chance to play it, and he was talking about how it's not very hands-holdy. Like, they kind of just drop you in, and I was like, all right, go ahead. And that sounds intimidating, but from what Kyle was saying, he's like, it's not too bad. It's a good amount of, like, there's landmarks there, so it's easy for you to kind of orientate. Jesus, I can talk today. Orientate yourself to the world and know, like, where you're going to be heading and whatnot. So, I don't know. I think it's more of a setting that is really drawing me in terms of, like, yeah, this looks creepy, the monsters that you're going to be fighting, and I just want to know what's going on in this world. So yeah, the demo's out on PlayStation 5 now, so I want to dive into that. And if I get a chance to, hopefully next time we record, I'll talk about my experiences with that and see if this is actually something I'm going to be jumping into in September, or if it's just like, oh, that looked cool, not for me. So yeah, we'll see.
Do you think it's a Souls-like at all, from what you can tell?
See, from what I can see, I would say yes, but there's a lot of gameplay trailers feel to be capitalizing on the Souls genre now. It's like everything's a Souls-like. So
Yeah.
in terms of combat, I would say yes. I don't know in terms of like the difficulty spike, obviously, and like how you're gathering the souls to level up afterwards. It could just be an action open world game that takes inspirations in terms of combat from a Souls. So that's something I'll have to see once, hands-on in the gameplay and whatnot. I'll have to see.
Yeah, it sounds like this very niche subgenre of Souls-like games called The Surge.
Oh, okay.
And these games were like post-apocalyptic, but kind of retro-futurism Souls-likes that were very difficult. I have The Surge 2, and I never beat it because it's like harder than Elden Ring and more difficult than Dark Souls 2, so I was not touching it after a while. But it kind of sounds like that a little bit. Hopefully the difficulty is not that insane,
Right.
and it's just kind of the combat, and you're not collecting, I think it was scrap in that game, or like metal pieces. I can't remember. It's been a long time, but
Okay. Yeah, watching the gameplay trailer now, or at least the initial trailer, it's giving me a lot of Liza P vibes of like how it moves and stuff like that, and I love that game. So I think that's what's maybe drawing me into and making me intrigued to try it. So we'll see.
for sure. And what was that called again? Hell is Us?
Hell is Us. Yep.
All right, I'm adding that to my list. That sounds good.
Nice. And I do have one more I want to talk about today just because Pokemon World is going on. But a future title I'm looking forward to is Pokemon ZA. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. It's really making me debate if I want to get a Switch 2 or not. I know there's going to be a Switch 1 version, but I'm like, does this make me bite the bullet and jump onto that? For those of you guys who don't know, Pokemon ZA is harkening back or similar in gameplay to Pokemon Arceus, which was different than your mainline Pokemons where it's, go through, capture Pokemon, train. You're still doing that, but Pokemon Arceus was different in that, I don't know, I feel like trainer battles were they were present, but it's definitely much less than your typical collect all 8 badges, those, traditional games. It's open world to an extent where the Pokemon are walking around and you're going around collecting them that way. And then there's like this overarching story where it's not focused on the gym badges. It's more the journey and conflict there. Saying this as someone who's never beaten Arceus and has started over many, many times, I don't know where that story goes. But with Arceus, it was a little bit different because there was the time travel mechanic. I'm intrigued to see what ZA brings to the table in terms of story, because it seems like we're just in Lumiose City, and you're confined to the city, so you're not going to have the wild areas of the mountains and the lakes and the plains that you do have in Arceus. But it was, I'm excited and enticed about the gameplay, because I found that to be more interesting in Arceus compared to its story from time to time. It was just like, I'm running around, I'm capturing Pokemon. Granted, and also in Arceus with the time travel mechanic of going back in time, it was also very much about like the discovery of Pokemon and the research of Pokemon. So I don't know if that also was calling out to me more, if that makes sense, or making it more intriguing of like, hey, I'm going to capture a fuck ton of Bidoof because Professor whatever his name needs to know about Bidoof and all their habits and whatnot. So I guess that will be something to watch out for, is like, is this going to entice me in terms of a story and gameplay loop in comparison to what Arceus did, and the, not education of it, but the research aspect of like, okay, I want to capture a bunch of this Pokemon because there's a reason for it, not just, I don't know, trying to get my shiny Bidoof or whatever.
Yeah, it seems like it's more focused on, from what I can tell. I've watched some trailer breakdowns and stuff because I have issues, and I've seen that it's more focused on like the trainers, I guess, the trainer battles,
Oh, okay, they're going.
and the wild. There's like wild patches in the city,
Yeah.
which is weird. Um, but also in the breakdown trailers, something that some people are speculating is that it's a little bit different than Arceus, where the moves kind of take place. You have to actually move your character like out of the way and things like
Yes.
that.
Yeah, it's much more reactive combat than your traditional turn-based. Yes. So
Yeah, which
everything's
I'm excited for that.
yeah, that looks cool. Nice. All right. Well, everybody, that's going to wrap up episode 2 of Relatively Gaming. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this journey. Remember, if you liked what you heard, subscribe to the channel. I mean, we don't have other social medias, but we got our own, so if you want to follow us there, you're more than welcome to. But keep in touch with everything. Like I said, ring that bell, yada, 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 all the stuff, like TJ said last episode. The cringe stuff. But make sure you do that. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. TJ, thanks for another great episode, sir.
Absolutely, I'm gonna go play more Far Cry 6.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, guys. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.